Here's a Tyrant's Familiar trigger and Dracuseth trigger. That is a lot of damage. So like when I said the dragons kill you faster than angels do, this is what I mean.
Today on Commander Replay, fourth time is the charm as I try to make this Kaalia Angel tribal deck work next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's two great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below.
Welcome back everyone, playing some Kaalia of the Vast today, and today's deck list comes to us from Patreon supporter Jenka. Fourth time is the charm. Been trying to film this deck for a few games now, and have been unlucky in some circumstances, and haven't really gotten a video that I've wanted to show, so hopefully we get that today. Anyway, let's take a look at this opener. We've got 3 lands, Herald's Horn, Thran Dynamo. I think there's no second blacks. It's risky. Like, it can get better and it can get worse. I think I'm gonna keep this, though. The Herald's Horn gives us, like, some amount of card advantage, which, you know, if we, like, run into the big angel, you know, we get the extra draw, so that's got me hopeful. At some point, we should be able to activate the Castle Locktwain. Brings it to our turn 1. There's a Pyre of Heroes. That could actually be really helpful. We'll play the castle right now since it'll come in tapped, and we'll just get that out of the way. So, Kaalia of the Vast. 4 mana 2/2. Whenever it attacks, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking that opponent. This is an angel tribal deck, so we see stuff like Herald's Horn. Obviously, there'd be some angels in the deck anyway. We see Pyre of Heroes, another tribal card. And as I've come around on it, there's actually a bunch of decent upgrades that you get while running a single tribe Kaalia deck. Like Pyre of Heroes, like Herald's Horn, Urza's Incubator, Starnheim Aspirant is really, really good for angel deck. So there's a lot of cool things that you pick up by being single tribe that you wouldn't really run. That being said, though, you do lose overall power in that most of the angels tend to be very defensive. Like, they do good things for you. Many dragons, like, destroy your opponent's board, like Balefire Dragon and stuff like that. Those are really powerful effects that keep your opponents under control. Not as many angels do that. Like, Chancellor of the Annex is good. What's the other one that I like? Angelic Arbiter is very good for, like, suppressing your opponents, but other than those, and Sarah's Emissary is pretty good too, but other than those, like, I guess my point is that angels don't kill the same way that dragons kill. Like, dragons overwhelm you quickly and can end a game very quickly. It does usually take quite a few angels to actually kill a player, or they need to stay in play for quite a while. That's a huge pickup. That's a Graven Karen's right there. Let's go play the spectator seating. We'll get the Pyre of Heroes. Maybe should have went Boots. Because next turn I want to get the Herald's Horn. Yeah, we would have been on... Well, yeah, we should have went Boots. Whoops. Dreamscape Artist. There's one you don't see. Cool card. Discard a card, sacrifice a land, search your library for 2 basic lands, put them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Kraum Ludwig's Opus only. Nice. Running no partners. Just wanted to keep it blue-red. You know... Just because you can run partners, it doesn't mean you always need to. Like, if you have a very focused idea and you frankly just don't need other colors to get to it, there is something to say about keeping your deck focused, because, like, usually in the early turns of a 4-color deck, things can be pretty awkward with your mana, and you can be locked out of colors, and, you know, especially if there's, like, triple pips of anything, that can be a nightmare. So I don't know exactly what KO's up to, but there is something to say about just if one partner card is doing literally everything you need it to do. And, I mean, I get it, right? Like, running that second partner is probably almost always going to be more powerful. Mental real estate is a thing, too, right? Like, you know, if there's no prize money on the line, there is something to say about, like, okay, I know that I only need 2 colors of mana, and, you know, casting the cards I want to cast and... the decisions I make each turn should probably be a lot easier when you have less colors to manage, so I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see where KO's going with all this. That's a Signet. Oh, that's interesting. So we could go... All right, so since we catch the Signet right there, let's do this. Let's get the Graven Karens, and we'll get the Signet and the Boots, and then we'll just hold off on the Herald's Horn for a turn, and hope that... I mean, as much as I want to draw the big creature, because then we can drop it in, we'd be losing the Herald's Horn value for a second there. But we'll see how things shake out. I have made a number of changes to this deck, probably about 6 or 7 by this point. I added all of the Signets. And I definitely think you want the signets over the talismans just because there are colorless lands in this deck, and they filter the colorless lands into colored mana. Also, the talismans do damage to you, which isn't great. Opponent's going to activate their Dreamscape Artist. 2 games ago, I would have said that you want all of the signets and all of the talismans. But yesterday, while filming this deck, I cast a Necralgia for X10 and drew only lands and signets, and it was the most disappointing thing you can imagine, and like actually kind of ruined the game afterwards, because Kaalia was in play, and I had nothing good to drop in with Kaalia, and yeah, it was a huge problem. It was a huge problem. So that made me rethink a little bit that, like, a lot of signets and talismans are going to be good. Maybe not all of them. Maybe it sort of depends on, like, what you want the deck to be doing. The problem with Kaalia is always that pull. You always feel like you're getting pulled in a couple different directions, because if Kaalia's in play, you don't need that much ramp, right? She's going to drop in all your big creatures. When Kaalia is not in play, you do need that ramp, because hard casting 6 and 7 drops is pretty difficult. There's also 8 and 9 drops in this deck too, with we got a Chroma, Avacyn, and Rhea up here at the top. So those, you need some ramp to be able to get those in. There's an Alicia Who Smiles at Death and an Anafenza Kintree. Interesting. Is that the commander? Oh, Dihada's the commander. Yep. So yeah, and I've kind of said this for years too, like, getting the balance right in a Kaalia deck is just so difficult. Like, you're talking these very small margins, and even then, there's just going to be a game where things get awkward. You're going to draw the wrong half of the deck. You're going to draw the removal half of the deck. You're going to draw all creatures and no removal. You're going to draw all ramp, no creatures. That stuff tends to happen more with Kaalia than it does with a lot of decks. So where I'm at with that now is that I do think you just want to be drawing a lot of cards in a Kaalia deck. I added a Greed to this deck right before the game. I think I added, several games ago, I think I added Wheel of Misfortune in here to get another big draw spell. I think you want that type of stuff. Like, I think you just want to be churning through cards to get to the pieces of the deck that you need, because Kaalia can be really awkward that way. Anyway, brings it back to our turn. This is the Kaalia turn right here. Let's see. Well, I don't know that we can get Kaalia and the Thran Dynamo in all at once. Yeah, so what we can do here, we can just, we'll get the tap land in this turn. So we'll play this, let's get the boots equipped before anything goes wrong. Mango asking if we're okay. We're okay. The biggest creature in our hand is not that scary. Gisela the Broken Blade. Love her, but not exactly what you're envisioning when you get a Kaalia trigger here. Play the Smoldering Marsh before we forget. Notably, you don't get the trigger if you attack a Planeswalker, and when you drop the creature in, it also can't attack the Planeswalker, which is a little bit frustrating. We actually had a very similar matchup yesterday, so as we drop in the Gisela here. We'll send both at Soul Rise since they have a little bit going. I do actually want to be attacking that Planeswalker. We'll get to that next turn, I think. And this is what I mean. Like, we've ramped a little bit. We have a nice value piece right here, but we don't have the big creature, right? And this is kind of the experience I've been having through a few games. And it's not just this deck. You know, there's probably little things you can tweak in this deck to even that out a little bit. But that's just been, like, historically how a Kaalia deck plays, right? Like, it's a very glassy kind of deck where, yeah, sometimes you hit big and you get the big dumb thing in and wreck the table with it. Other times, Kaalia gets shot instantly because no one wants to find out what the biggest creature in your hand is. Yeah, there's a lot of give and take with this deck of, you know, sometimes you'll be able to do some insane things. Other times you will get stopped and you may end up doing nothing. Bantu's Monument coming in. Let's just take a look to see what we have for 5-drop Angels. Anything that, like, draws cards or generates value would be ideal. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. That's actually cool with Pyre of Heroes. I mean, we can just go straight to Karmic Guide and get back the Gisela. That's not a terrible idea. It's not a bad idea at all. But boy, would I love to catch one off the top. That would be sweet. Alicia coming back our way. Yep. KO did get his commander in. Kraum is into play. So if we got a 4/4 in the air, we do have first strike, so, you know, theoretically we could do something about that. Mango's going to go searching. Oh, God. Mango's going to go searching for a dragon. Oh, that's what I was saying. So yesterday, when I tried to film this game, Soul Rai was playing the same commander. They were playing Dihada, and Mango was playing the same deck. They were playing Bladewing the Risen. I forget who the third player was. It wasn't KO, so obviously a different deck. But So, you know, we got a partial rematch from yesterday. Hopefully things go better. And, like, there were some cool plays that I made, but it was one of those situations where I drew the removal half of the deck and the ramp half of the deck, not the creature half of the deck, or the thirds of the deck, if you will. Here comes Bladewing. Who are we getting? Oh, wow. They can stack that before the ETB. That's cool. It's Dracuseth. Of course it's Dracuseth. For years, Mango has been trying to get an attack trigger with Dracuseth, and just almost always I have the answer for it. This is one of those rare times where we do not. Yeah, it's not great. This is not great. Rampage of the Valkyries would be a sweet pickup. Teferi's Protection is a magic card. When do we use it is going to be the question. Yeah, we've got things to do this turn. Kaalia can't really attack. Everyone's... I guess going to attack here. Alright, we need to plan out our mana. We'll take, what, 4 to do that, essentially? And then we'd have exactly 2 for the Pyre of Heroes. Alright, let's do the easy stuff. Let's play the land. Let's move the boots. No, actually move the boots back. I don't think I'm going to attack. Mango will likely use a trigger on the Dihada, so just let that sit for now. Sacrifice the Gisela. Lyra's big enough to survive a Dracuseth trigger, which is something. Yeah, let's just Karmic Guide the Gisela back. And then I think I'm going to sit Teferi's Protection or Castle Locktwain if we don't need to do anything else. Crap. Oh, I meant to move the boots. Glacian Power Stone Engineer. Tap X untapped artifacts you control. Look at the top X of your library. Put 1 into your hand. Rest into the graveyard. It's out of Commander Legends? I don't think I ever saw that one. Huh. There's a lot of cards in Commander Legends. That is a giant set. I would really love to not burn Teferi's Protection on this single Dracuseth trigger. Very much hope that Soul Rise got some removal here. Shanid is not removal. Yeah, we have Dawnbreak Reclaimer, but if he shoots both of our angels, that's a big problem. Although, I guess if that happens, we just... I guess the question is what happens if Mango only shoots 1? Oketra's Monument triggers Shanid and Kraum. So going around the table real quick, we've got Chaotix 2075 piloting Kraum Ludwig's Opus. 5 mana, 4/4 with haste. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card. Not really sure what KO's plan is. Looks like maybe an artifact thing. Looks like maybe a reanimator thing. Don't know. In the middle, we've got Soul Rai piloting Dihada, Binder of Wills. 4 mana, 5 loyalty Planeswalker. Can put Vigilance, Lifelink, and Indestructible on a creature until their next turn. -3, reveal the top 4, put any number of legendary cards from among them into the hand, rest in the graveyard, create a treasure token for each card put to the graveyard, and 11 is Insurrection for all non-land permanents. Alicia, Who Smiles at Death, coming our way. Yep, that'll hit. And Mango's gonna get that Dracuseth trigger. That's a Crux of Fate, destroying all dragons, so yeah, Teferi's Protection time it is. KO is gonna activate Glacian. Notably, Shanid was indestructible, so that one survives. Dracuseth, KO's Face, Soul Rai, and the Planeswalker, yep. The problem here is that we only have 6 lands, so we can't pay the Echo cost and sacrifice it to the Pyre of Heroes, which is really frustrating. I don't know if we're going to catch that land off the top. There's a Dragon Speaker Shaman for Mango. I'm thinking about letting the Karmic Guide go, but then we're kind of back in the same spot where, like, we don't progress at all with the Pyre of Heroes. This is a tough spot. I think we let it go. We just need the mana. Cavern of Souls is not what we're looking for. We could have did the thing. Well, play Cavern naming Angel. Play the Thran Dynamo. Play the Herald's Horn. Choosing Angel. Send Gisela into Mango. Gisela into Mango. Send Kaalia into... They'll probably deal with the Planeswalker again. I think we'll just stay back with the Kaalia. They're going to block with Bladewing. Oh, that's not great. Bladewing dies. Let's Pyre of Heroes. Sacrifice Gisela. Now I think we get Liesa, which will give us kind of something to get our stuff back if it starts dying. With the boots on Liesa. And pass like that. Kraum coming back to play. Notably is in range of Dracuseth triggers. There's a generous gift on the Oh god, I'm pretty sure they just misclicked. On the Dragon Speaker Shaman. Yep, wrong card. Love it. Oh my god. I mean, that's the type of play that can like just straight up lose this game. Like, Dracuseth can just take over the game. There's a Garna Bloodfist of Keld. That's going to trigger Oketra's Monument, Bantu's Monument, Shanid, and Kraum. Opponent says actively crying. Yeah, gotta pay attention to what you're doing. I think opponent's about to get a lesson in misclicking a Dracuseth. It may never happen again. based on how this game is probably about to go. They give their Shannon indestructible and send it into Mango. Mango, the final player, by the way, is piloting Bladewing the Risen, their Dragon Reanimator, one that I've seen a lot of times, and it's unfortunate that we just broke a streak. I've killed this Dracuseth between 10 and 15 times without it ever getting an attack off over the last, year or so of playing Mango. It is a lot. Like, we'd never let them get an attack off with it, and they finally got one. And I guess as far as things go, it could have been worse, but it will just take over this game if no one does anything about it. Bladewing is back. Who are we getting? Ugh, Tyrant's Familiar. We are still a couple clicks away from Sarah's Emissary, which is unfortunate. Bladewing getting Tyrant's Familiar. Yep. Dracuseth, our way. Tyrant's Familiar at Solrai. Here's a Tyrant's Familiar trigger and Dracuseth trigger. That is a lot of damage. So when I said the dragons kill you faster than angels do, this is what I mean. It's very easy to control the board with dragons because they blow everything up. It's going to be a 3 damage trigger to our face, 1 at Kaalia. What does it say? Return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step? No, so we'll just leave it in the graveyard. No blocks. We've got lifelinks, so we can race a little bit, especially while Mango has to, arch enemy the table. Bring Kaalia back to our hand, which is very helpful. Avoid the commander tax. Brings back to our turn. There's a Herald's Horn trigger. God, could we ever use something? Oh, it's the land. Draw the land. Activate Castle Locktwain. Draw with Castle. Soul Ring is not it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with this deck. Just, we've ramped like crazy, and we cannot find a creature. Play the plains. Send Liesa into Mango. They're going to block with Bladewing again. That runs up the cost, so if someone plays some artifact removal, it does make it difficult to keep casting Bladewing. We got to try this here. We're going to Pyre of Heroes, sacrifice Liesa, get Dawnbreak Reclaimer, play Soul Ring, move the boots to Dawnbreak Reclaimer. We'll go to the end step. Solrai can have Alicia back, and hopefully they give us the Karmic Guide, or the Liesa. They gave us Gisela. Really? Well, Gisella's just going to die. Advanced Stitchwing from KO. So yeah, like I was talking about, we just need to draw cards, and we need to draw a lot of them, and sending a 3-4 our way? Why is he doing that? Probably wants to discard a card? Well, we can gain life right here, so I'll take that. Back to 34. Day of Destiny. Legendary creatures get +2/+2. Ooh, this takes Gisela out of Dracuseth range. It does make Dracuseth bigger, though. Now they've got, reasonable attackers. It keeps their stuff alive against Mango longer, also. Brill of Possibility. Triggers the Kraum, Felwar Stone. We're gonna minus the Dihada. The Reaver Cleaver. I feel like they should have played this turn differently. Maybe they just drew it off the thing. I feel like they should have played that differently because they ideally you want to be able to use that and get the treasures right away. Yeah, you can wait on this, get the Reaver Cleaver, and then just play it afterwards and then protect your stuff. That's Bladewing. Ugh, discarding a Steel Hellkite. Things are going to get worse. Goes for the Gadrock instead. Tyrants our way. Oh, this is a U control. This doesn't help us at all. I thought this was all for some reason. Where's Dracuseth going? Over to KO. So Tyrants Familiar is going to hit the Gisela. Alicia goes down. Gisela goes down. We're not going to block. Gadrock trigger. We'll get a couple treasures. Back to our turn. Boy, could we ever use a big draw. Come on. Big creature. Something that matters. Swiftfoot Boots is not it. Oh my god. You know what that is, though? It's another protection spell, although going to be awkward in its timing. Activate the Castle Locktwain. Command Tower. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You know what we can do? We can sacrifice Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Get a Marius Shepherd. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Or we could just go straight to Sarah's Emissary, which I'm also thinking about doing. Let's get the Ameria Shepherd. Crack the Pyre. Oh, there's a lot of damage over there, though. But then we lose this opportunity. Yeah, get the Ameria Shepherd. Gisela makes everything a lot less threatening, is what that does. We'll get Ameria Shepherd, though. Play the land. Ameria Shepherd, Karmic Guide back to our hand. Return it to the hand. Cast Karmic Guide. Get Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Play the boots. KO draws. Greaves on Ameria Shepherd. Swifties on Dawnbreak Reclaimer. Pass like that, although, God, Mango has so much damage. No attacks. Dawnbreak Reclaimer. KO can have his big one back, I guess, in Glacian. Gives us the Gisela. Would vastly preferred the Liesa. Kappa Cannoneer. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. They can't be blocked. That doesn't seem strong enough. I mean, someone's got to blow this Dracuseth up. That's what needs to happen, and no one's done it, and it's very frustrating. Solve the equation. You're telling me they could have searched for a removal spell and didn't? Oh my god, KO. Thirst for Knowledge. You draw... Thirst for Knowledge? Okay, you have 7 cards in hand. That is a highly questionable play right there. Wipe the board, do something. 4-4 over to Mango. Yep. Mango down to 24. That is a merciless eviction, exiling all creatures. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. My concern is that Mango might still come out of this ahead. Well, I guess they only have a Steel. I mean, Steel Hellkite's still pretty good. We do lose a lot of good pieces, though. Karmic Guide, Amaria Shepherd, and Dawnbreak Reclaimer. That's most of the reanimation angels. Rhea Dawnbringer's left, but she's very expensive. If we ever drew her, she'd be good, but yeah, I think that's basically all the reanimation angels. Liesa, thankfully, still in the graveyard. I don't know how we're getting her out, though. Garna coming back to play. Honestly, as I've been playing this deck, I think this deck needs a couple tutors. At least one. Because it's prone to drawing not the right stuff a lot of the time, like, a Demonic Tutor would go so far. You can play a Diabolic if you have to. Or is Grim Tutor cheap now? I don't know how much Grim Tutor is after it got reprinted. Just being able to find the thing you're looking for is a big deal, and can be really helpful. Like in our case, we need the card draw so badly. Opponent pokes with a 1/1. Yep. We're gonna need to get lucky right here and actually draw some creatures because we have almost nothing that we can do with our current hand. I do think Soulrai is another board wipe because they said they had Destroy and Exile. That's actually scary. If we don't draw an Avacyn somewhere, that might be an issue. Bladewing coming in. Yep, they've got a loot trigger. Terror of Mount Velis. That one's awkward because they don't have haste, so they probably go for the Steel Hellkite. Yeah, getting the Steel Hellkite. That one's still a problem, though. That one can beat you. All right, let's try it again. We need to actually draw cards that matter. Can't draw more lands. Herald's Horn? Come on. Chroma is a card that matters. Oh god, pro red? Yeah, love it. Put the card into your hand. Choose this. Patriarch's Bidding is okay. How bad do I want that Liesa? Medium bad. Given that we think they have a board wipe, we should hold the Patriarch's Bidding, which means... God, I hope we have enough for... We should with the cost reduction. Do we cast a Chroma and go for Rhea is a question that I have. Rhea would be awesome here. But we do, like, a Chroma is such a good defender. Like, we can attack and defend with a Chroma, which would be awesome. God, yeah, Chroma's just so good staying in play. Okay, let's activate the Castle Locktwain. Burnished Heart is not really what we're looking for. Cast a Chroma. Put Greaves on a Chroma. This actually can, like, wreck Mango's deck. Feels good to finally have something. Oh, man, I really want to go for Rhea. God, why can't this be an instant? I know it would be way too strong, but so frustrating. Into Mango. Yeah, a Chroma's too good of a blocker against the Steel Hellkite, so I think we gotta... we'll play the Burnished Heart. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that with the Amaria Shepherd, although I guess everything would have just got exiled anyway, but... Combos really well with Amaria Shepherd. Probably gonna need to find a lifelink angel at some point, too. You know what the bad news is now? KO just tutored for something, and he's got a Mystic Sanctuary. Getting back solved the equation. I don't know what silliness he's up to. I don't really care for it, though. Thirst for Knowledge. Revolutionist. Turn target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Getting back Thirst for Knowledge. I have no idea what KO's up to. One thing I noted, too, there is an Amaria in this deck. I think Amaria is a little too ambitious for this deck. We see all the planes right here. The planes are good for Amaria Shepherd, but actually getting to 7 planes to get Amaria active? Oof. Tall order. There's no Hearth and Home. There's no Sword of the Animist in the deck. Burnished Heart's really the only one putting extra lands in. I'd cut that Amaria for something untapped that makes multicolored mana. That's in a Tali. Can it get haste? Other creatures have haste. There you go. Potentially scary since there are big scary things in our deck. Also big scary things in Mango's deck. Puts the Reaver Cleaver on it for good measure. It probably doesn't come over here because of the Acroma. And that is why I didn't sack the Acroma, even though I really want to get Rhea. Sends it over to KO. Wow. Yeah, KO just doesn't have much in the way of blocking. 1/1's over to Mango. Itali trigger. Let's see how bad it get. Where'd the trigger go? Rogue's Passage? Command Tower? Wow, 4 lands. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Whiff. That is 4 lands. KO said he goofed up whatever play he was going for. Well, we live to fight another day in the Satali, and importantly, I mean, Rogue's Passage is good. It's a good land, but it's not a land. We just need to not draw lands right now. Yeah, opponent's going to get to make some treasures. Fortunately, they're low on cards, but Dihada can refill if they haven't activated it yet, which I guess they have because this has all the keywords on it. Life total's getting low. Boy, would I love to find some lifelink. KO says serves you right for hitting the KO with hitting all 4 lands. Yeah, life total's low. Soulrai noticeably has a lot more life than the rest of us, about double. Oh no, Sunbird's Invocation. God, that card's ridiculous. That one is very strong. Lathless. Oh, that's also very strong. Hazardous Monument and Sunbirds. I was actually going to shift my focus over to Soulrai, but like, Mango just keeps dropping bombs, so it's like you have to just keep going in that direction. Ancient Copper Dragon. Oh no. Well, that seems lucky. I don't think any haste, though. Probably going to be the saving grace here. As long as they don't find haste, we're good. We can get some damage into them with a Chroma. Steel Hellkite is really the only thing they can block with, and it dies in combat, so they might make that sacrifice, honestly, which also means they don't attack with it. Notably, Soulrai doesn't have any flying blockers, so it's probably attractive to send the Steel Hellkite over there. Loot some lands. Lathless in. A Chroma with 3 red decks at the table is a good feeling. Yeah, they're going to send the Steel Hellkite over to Soulrai, which also means Mango doesn't have any blockers for us. So we can get another 6 in there very easily. Ooh, that could be lethal if we catch the other Akroma. Yeah, they're going to Steel Hellkite. They get all the treasures. It's not a bad play. I was thinking about that too. Well, that also got some other stuff too. No, was it just treasures? Maybe it was just treasures. X was 0, yeah. So they blew up all the 0 drops. Could use another big creature. Come on, Herald's Horn. Greed is okay. I mean, Greed's going to burn through our life alarmingly fast, but yeah, cast Greed. This is card draw we need. Gotta pray for the lifelink. There is big stuff out on board, which is very scary. Cast Greed. Yeah, this is where a tutor would really, really help. Let's Greed. Oh, Ambitions cost. Well, the rate is friendlier than Greed, so I guess we're casting it. Settle the Wreckage would make me feel good. I added one just before the game, because I knew I was going to need it. Given what Mango was playing. And it's such a good card in that you can just save it. Like, in a situation like this, like, you don't have to just play the Sorcery Speed board wipe and blow up all your stuff. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. I don't know that I want to refill everyone's hand, although KO was trying to do some nonsense over there, which I'm a little nervous about. I still didn't find the big creature. Yeah, that's kind of the theme with this deck that I'm seeing, is that it does not draw the big creatures when you need it to. Given that the card's in our hand, do we wheel now or later? If we cast land, do we have more lands than our opponents? I don't know if land tax is even worth it. I'm going to Wheel of Fortune. Am I going to Wheel of Fortune? We need to find 1 damage somewhere. If we could find 1 damage, we could kill Mango. Could Patriarch's... I don't know if we have enough mana, but we could theoretically Patriarch's Bidding, sacrifice Liesa to get Aurelia. You know, Mango actually has no creatures in graveyard. Maybe we just Patriarch's Bidding and get the Liesa. Having a second blocker would be very good, especially one with lifelink. And it also gives us protection if a Chroma goes down for some reason. I think I'm on that plan, because next turn we can refill with the wheel, especially because Mango doesn't have anything in the graveyard right now, and we need just more blockers. Choosing Angel. Oh, there was one in the graveyard. It was the Terror of Mount Velis. Luckily that's in... Well, it makes a dragon. It makes a Lathless trigger. KO is going to get back, solve the equation. That does make it awkward with the double strike timing right there, so I don't know if that helps or hurts. And we'll put the boots on Liesa, just so we have that protection for Akroma, because Akroma can carry us this game. Notably, Soulrai has a lot of attackers now. Sadly, this doesn't have Vigilance. Be much happier if it did. I think there's a lot of menace over here. Akroma into Mango. Pass like that. Mango down to 7. The good news with Mango being at 7 is that if Soulrai wants to go over there, they're probably actually going to have to commit some resources to do it. KO's going to cast an Emrakul the Promised End, giving Soulrai 2 turns. We probably die. Oh, and there's a hasty Emrakul. Gross. What does this have? Flying, trample, protection from instants. That's probably killing someone right here. Into Soulrai. Okay. Life total is going to join the rest of ours. This is going to be a lot of attacks, though. This is very scary stuff. Yeah, they take the hit for 13. Down to 16. There are a lot of threats on board and very low life totals. It's going to be a razor's edge kind of a game from here. I don't know if we can survive, though. A Chroma, maybe. There might be, like, between the lifelink and the pro-red, pro-black, there might be enough absorption here to withstand all of this. Mango has to die, though, because Mango can just outnumber us. But, puts Indestructible. I didn't see what he... I think he skipped the Indestructible trigger. Well, I think they've been holding a board wipe for a while. I think they had a second board wipe. We'll find out. And we would come out very far ahead on a board wipe because of this Liesa. This card is really punishing. Like, even just getting our Kaalia back that one time, like, we've had Kaalia ready to go for quite a while, which is pretty sweet. Commander Sphere. Crack the Commander Sphere. Do you just send everything into Mango and watch them tangle up and watch everything die? Tali Arway. Gross. Alicia over to Mango. Josu Vess over to Mango. This one over to Mango. A Tali trigger, Alicia trigger. See how bad this one is. God, Avacyn would be so bad. Avacyn would be really bad. This is not the time to find Avacyn. Sarah's Emissary would also be pretty bad. Anafenza with the Alicia trigger. They pay to get Anafenza back. We got Blackblade Reforged. Ooh, that's bad. Goblin Engineer and Thunderbreak Regent. Who's got the Blackblade Reforged? Because Thunderbreak Regent is Mango. Crap. That means this is going to stick and play even if Mango dies. That I don't know that we can. Although, I mean, I guess opponent kind of gets to pick. Nah, they could probably kill us. Can they kill us both? I don't know. Yeah, Blackblade Reforged is a giant problem. I guess they have to kill Mango, though, and Mango can block. Although, yeah, this is interesting. This is quite the predicament. Oh, God, there's a bunch of Bantu's monuments going off. We're down to 8. Gross. Goblin Engineer. Do we trade Liesa to kill Atali? Maybe. That'll also gain us 4 life back. Bolster. Bolster again. There's an army of 2/2s. Like, I want to kill this Atali, but I'm not committed giving up Liesa to do it. I'm going to block with all. No, I'm going to wait. Did Mango block? Mango didn't block. Oh, Mango got a migraine while they were playing. Kind of looking for a way out of the game. The blocks would have been helpful, though, because that would have killed some stuff. And now, like, we're down to 2. Yeah, we just die. Kaya's Wrath. Destroy all creatures. You gain life equal to the number of creatures destroyed. 2 creatures will go back to our hand. The concern is Bantu's Monument. We're at 2. If I knew, maybe we should have blocked. But no, if we block there, though, we don't get a Chroma back. Oh, hey, this one's indestructible. Still an Emrakul hanging out there. Gaia Reach Sanitarium Homeward Path seems very helpful. Discard the land tax. Well, I guess Atali's dead now. But if Atali went to exile. This is going to be weird. They can draw cards with this stupid thing. And the Mind Stone. Crack the Mind Stone. We get creatures back. Pray opponent doesn't find 2 creatures. There's a land. It's good. Dihada minus. Come on with. Maybe I should have also blocked with a Burnished Heart. Soaked up. Yeah, that's what we should have did. Crap. Would have soaked up more damage. And we would have just got it right back anyway. Need a whiff. I don't think they whiffed. Yeah, we're dead. Yeah, they can cast Arvad. Oh, that sucks. Should have blocked with the Burnished Heart. Yeah, there's the Bantu's Monument trigger. Wow, that's frustrating. Oh my god, this deck. I've not had a great go with this deck. It, like, just continuously gets stuck. It's been frustrating. Yeah, I would say a Tutor, because you need to find those big card draw spells. I mean, I would probably load this thing full of wheels. Maybe Reforge the Soul. Reforge the Soul, Greed, as good as this stuff, as good as Greed is, like, it's a lot of life loss when someone else is very threatening, like they were. And there is lifelink in the deck, so it can counteract that. Black Blade on Zetalpa, it is now much larger than Emrakul. Turn target artifact from your graveyard to the hand. Meteor Golem doesn't have. Well, he has mana. Although, so if you blow up the Black Blade Reforged, oh, straight to play. Yeah. Shoots the Arvad. That's can't be the correct play. Goblin Welder. Getting Portal to Phyrexia. Okay, I think I see where he's going with this. KO's got a chance now. All the stuff gets sacrificed. Solve the equation again. KO sending the attacks. Big one into the face and little one into the Planeswalker. Gaia Reach. KO gets us Zetalpa back with haste. KO sending everything. I think this is going to do it. KO takes it down with some weird is it Emrakul nonsense. I really don't even know what his deck was doing, really. There's some artifact stuff in there. Like, he has artifact synergies. I never really quite figured out what the plan is. He had a Charmbreaker Devils, Venter's Fair. Yeah, KO doing weird stuff over there, but takes it down. The Emrakul play, the double attack with, I guess they didn't get the second attack off, but the attack, KO was able to make very favorable attacks with the Emrakul turn. Emrakul be like that. As far as this deck, so I've played 4 games with this deck now, and at one point I was like, I'm gonna rebuild my own Kaalia deck, and now I'm thinking not so much. I've had enough of Kaalia over the past week. I don't know that I've ever run into a deck that is like this bad at drawing stuff when you need it. Right? Because like most of that game we were sitting there stuck without card draw. We couldn't draw a creature to save our life. There are 25 creatures in the deck. After a medium sample size of games now, I'm wondering if maybe increasing the creature count 1 or 2 is a good idea. In all the games, I have ramped very well, so it might be a matter of cutting a little bit of ramp. And I don't know. Mixed feelings on the Talismans and the Signets. Like, I get it, getting Kaalia in early is good, but then, like, if someone just shoots her, then, I don't know, does it matter? You know, because you got to think about your late game also. And that's a conundrum. That is a conundrum to figure out. You know, I may actually cut Solemn. Yeah, I might actually cut this Solemn, because the ramp has gone fine in all the games that I've played. Something that might be better than a Solemn is like a Sword of the Animist or a Hearth and Home, because that's going to repeatedly get you lands and like pull them out, and those would give you a chance of getting a Maria active, where Solemn by itself isn't going to do that so much. I think you want to absolutely churn through this deck with card draw, so I'm thinking like all the wheels, Greed, maybe an Erebos. What's the flip one? That's essentially Greed. That one. Added the Settle the Wreckage. You can also run Comeuppance. Either one's fine. This one, Settle the Wreckage, is actually a lot cheaper right now. I like having that safety plan of having one of these cards, especially if you're in a combat setting. Yeah, I do think you could add like one more creature to the deck. Maybe go with... It could be a 7-drop, maybe go with a 6-drop, just so you can like reasonably cast it, because you don't want to go wild with 7-drops. I did switch out the Quicksilver Amulet. I do like Quicksilver Amulet in Kaalia decks, but I don't know, just the way this deck has been playing recently, it's been very awkward. You know what I would do too? I'd probably go get some more like Black Reanimator stuff. Might go for like a Buried Alive, get Haunting Voyage in there, get like an Animate Dead or a Necromancy, or what's the other one? Reanimate. Get some of those type of things. And there is something to say too, like, I mean, this deck might also just need like a Blackblade Reforged or some sort of Anthem, because like when you do see other flyers in play, they, one, are often dragons, and two, are typically bigger than what you have in play. Like if you don't find your Sarah's Emissary to protect yourself, or your Avacyn to kind of keep you safe from that stuff, like a lot of times, you know, someone can make a big creature that can just attack past you. So, yeah, oh man, Kaalia decks, it's just like, it's always this tug of war. It's a tug of war between your ramp, your card draw, and your creatures, and then your removal. And like getting the right balance of that stuff is just a nightmare. And you're just going to be prone to awkward games, and sometimes you're just going to be prone to awkward games even when you have everything perfectly in check. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters for helping me get to 1,000 videos. I wouldn't still be here if it weren't for you guys, so thank you guys so much. If anyone else wants to help support the channel, be sure to check out the link in the description below.